What's good, y'all, man? We're back with another video covering the next arc in the One Piece arc review. So this next arc is going to be Whiskey Peak. And this takes place in the chapters 106 to 115. So, like the rest of these chapters, some of these arcs in these Alabasta saga are kind of short. So just bear with it. Some we're gonna get to a pretty lengthy one here soon, but right now these are going to be pretty short. So to get into it, we have where we left off, where we're trying to take Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine back to their home place of Whiskey Peak. So as we're heading there, we run into a bunch of storms on the Grand Line that cause Nami to freak out because she's like, she doesn't know what's going on and blah blah blah. And this is where Miss Wednesday pokes fun at her, be like, where's your navigation skills, and how are you not ready for the Grand Line, and how'd you come to the Grand Line unprepared, and basically just attacking her and trolling her and stuff like that, which is kind of stupid because I'm like, these people giving you a free ride, and you out here trying to mock her and make fun of her and stuff like that. So regardless, they get to where they get out of the storm and they get back fine and whatnot. So and then as they approach Whiskey Peak, which is an island with the big ass cactuses, Miss Wednesday and Mr. Nine hurry up and jump off before they even are able to dock. So that's for another story for them to pop up later on. So we just take our time and we just sail in, and as the crew's sailing in, they notice there's a whole bunch of citizens out, just happily going, yay, blah blah blah, the people are here, and basically just welcoming them. And basically what they're calling Whiskey Peak also like the welcoming city or something like that. So basically everybody's just super happy, and it doesn't actually fit the mold because obviously it's kind of weird. Like, these people are welcoming and throwing a feast and parties for pirates, just random pirates just showing up. And they get invited to the bar. They're drinking. Sanji's flirting with women, and Luffy is eating everything in the kitchen. So we have a comedic sequences of events where Zoro outdrinks 10 people, Nami outdrinks 15, Luffy eats for 20 people, and goes through 3 different chefs who all just run out of energy for cooking. So eventually they fall asleep and whatnot. And it was then revealed, because obviously there has to be something up, because why would these people be this nice? Well, it turns out they're a bunch of bounty hunters. So, and they're part of this organization called Baroque Works. And Zoro was playing possum, playing dead, acting like he was drunk and passed out, but he really wasn't. So we get this cool sequence, which I wish it could have been a little bit more graphically entertaining, where basically Zoro is against 100 bounty hunters. So it's 1-on-100. But unfortunately, it isn't that appealing, to read or to visually when you watch it. It's not that great. When you watch the anime, it feels like he actually went against 100 people a little bit more, but in the manga, it felt like he went against maybe 20, give or take. But regardless, Zoro handles them, no big sweat off his back and whatnot. And the comedic relief in this is that Luffy wakes up. He's super full, so he's bloated up, walking around like a fucking balloon. And he's super pissed because he finds out Zoro was the one that beat all these people up. And that's who the people are blamed it on Zoro. And granted, he did beat them up, but it was because they were bounty hunters. Of course, they weren't going to tell him that. But Luffy, he's like, oh, these guys are nice. They gave us food and drinks and stuff like that. There's no way these guys are bad, evil people. And so he's gonna beat Zoro's ass, and he's pissed. And all the while, when he finally discovers Zoro's dealing with these new people in the organization that just showed up, Mr. Five and Miss All Sunday, or I forgot exactly her name. They have all these freaking names, code names, but basically her devil fruit is she can turn her body weight from, they say it in kilograms, from 1 kilogram to 50,000 kilograms. And then the other person, Mr. Five, basically can make any part of his body dynamite. And his main trait is turning his boogers into dynamite so he could flick them and hit people from long range. Well, they're trying to be serious and deal with Zoro and Luffy, and they kind of get dealt with and like just in the crossfire, like Luffy and Zoro fighting, and they're like, "Can you get out of the way?" And they just beat their ass and just like send them packing. And all while going through this, we find out that Miss Wednesday, the girl that we led to Whiskey Peak, turns out she's a princess who for Alabasta, who had infiltrated Baroque Works, which is the bounty hunter, like the organizational bounty hunters, and she's trying to figure out like how to stop them, because it turns out the Baroque Works, they operate under the pretense of they want to create a utopia, and the people that are in Baroque Works will get like high ranking positions in the utopia. But she found out that Baroque Works is really just an undercover scheme for them to take over Alabasta, the kingdom, her kingdom, of course. So she's trying to work against this, but the boss of Baroque Works finds this out, sends assassins, which was Mr. Five and the other girl. So they get dealt with, and Nami sees this chance to like make some profit. She's like, "All right, we'll protect you for a fee." She's asked for 1 billion berries, and yeah, she's like, "I ain't got 1 billion, but I got 500 million." And so we kind of just agree to help and whatnot. So they get out of here, and as they're about to leave, they get their photo taken because they know that the Baroque Works boss is named Mr. Zero. Crocodile is his name. And it's funny because like it's literally like a hawk and like looks like a sea otter, like that is walking on 2 legs or something, that drew the pictures, and it was really good. And so that was just a funny scene and whatnot. But as they get ready to leave the island, they realize like we're wanted people. So one of the guys that was welcoming the people, turns out he was Miss Wednesday, which her name is Vivi. Her name so Vivi's like basically guardian that was also a part of the royal guard for Alabasta. Igaram, he says he's gonna stay back and try and act as a decoy. So he's dressed like Vivi, which is kind of weird. He's a big strong dude in a fucking dress and whatnot, and he has like 2 mannequin dummies or 3 mannequin dummies that are supposed to represent the Straw Hats. So he's gonna go out to sea and try and be a decoy. Well, he gets blown up. From what we see, his ship gets blown up, and everybody's like, Vivi's like, very hurt and whatnot, but they gotta go. They gotta get out of there. And so they get on the ship and they're starting to sail off, and then that's when Miss Wednesday, which is actually her name, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Her name is Nico Robin, because I don't want to keep up with the code names. Her name is Nico Robin, and she's on the ship, and she's basically just like talking to him. It's like, hey, you're heading towards a dangerous island called Little Garden. If you want to take this little route, you can go here. This is the easy island to go to, and tries to give them like a turtle log post, which will point directly to the island that they want to go to. But Luffy sees this and immediately smashes, and he's like, I don't want to take the easy route. I want to take whatever route we can take. We come across, and so he crushes it, and that was that. So we just have a small little back and forth with the crew just, saying like, Luffy, what the hell, blah, blah, blah. And then that's pretty much it. The Miss Nico Robin leaves the ship, and she has like a turtle ship, which was kind of cool. You don't really get to see too much of those, so that was really cool to see. But all in all, that was it. And next thing you know, we ended on the chapter of them heading to Little Garden. And that'll be an arc in itself, because I believe that one is a little bit longer. So we'll get to cover those events. All in all, this arc is kind of depends on how you take the bounty hunter arc and the Luffy versus Zoro stuff. Because the Luffy versus Zoro stuff, nothing really significant happened. They kind of just stalemated each other. But then at the same time, Luffy's like, I don't know, but. And Zoro is also, they're kind of like a counter each other at this point, because sword, fist, But nevertheless, if you like this, please drop a sub, hit the comments, and I'll catch y'all later. All right, y'all. Peace.